Okay, so for this this week I'm doing the proxy pattern. So let's get right into it. What is a proxy? So a proxy basically interfaces with something. It acts as an interface so you can interact with things that can't be duplicated easily. This could be network connections, large object in memory, a file, really anything that can't be duplicated easily or even at all. So what happens when a proxy gets called? When a proxy gets called, you can simply forward it. The proxy just acts as something that forwards the user to whatever they are trying to access, or it can provide some additional logic and functionality. For example, it could cache when operations of the real object are too resource intensive, or it can check preconditions before the operations in the real object are invoked. For the client, using a proxy is very similar to using the real object because they both use the same interface, so it's possible they wouldn't even know they're interacting with a proxy, especially if they're not technically savvy. So what kind of problems do proxies solve? Well, it substitutes an object and it can once again add some additional functionality. For example, to check the access rights of clients trying to access a sensitive subject, or to act as a substitute for the subject that you would need. Say the client wants to edit some things on this. Well, they can edit the proxy instead of editing the real thing in case they need to go back later. This is a UML diagram of a proxy pattern being used. As you can see, the client is trying to operate the real subject, but it has to go through the proxy first. So this is a quick example in C# of what a proxy would look like. So the real object is the iCar you can see at the top here. And the iCar is a very simple class that all it says is car has been driven. Now down here, when you call the proxy, you would call the proxy car and have whatever their object is, in this case new driver 15. So when new driver gets called, when the proxy car gets called with the new driver, the proxy car decides if the driver gets to access it or not. So if the driver's age is under 16, the console would write, sorry, the driver's too young to drive. And that's all happening in the proxy. It's not happening in the actual function. When the driver gets called when they're 25, it goes, yep, the age is over 25, so it calls the drive car, which is in this iCar class, and it just writes the console has been driven, or the car has been driven. So that's all I have. In conclusion, a proxy lets you interface with something you might not be able to. It can add some additional functionality that's especially useful when you need to have preconditions before you use the object. Thank you.